Hi everyone, thank you for coming today. So today I will talk to you about mythical places of Paris in movies, because Paris inspired a lot of artists, such as writers, poets, and more recently directors, French or international. Because of Paris' majestic places such as la cathédrale Notre-Dame or l'Arc de Triomphe, and chic places and emblematic places such as restaurants and cafes, or more intimate places such as parks, streets, hidden parks, hidden treasures of Paris. So I suggest you to take a tour of Paris and recognize some scenes that you may have seen in movies. So I chose different types of movies, from blockbusters to yes. Uh, yes. Sorry, I just. Uh, okay. Yes, I'm registering. So okay, it's all right. And so yes, I chose different type of movies, from blockbuster to more confidential movies, to give a wide range of perception of Paris in general. You may know them or not, but I'm sure you've seen some of them, and if you don't have seen some, I think that they could please you. So yes, to begin with, here are some facts about Paris. So Paris is considered the city of cinema because a lot of events first took place in Paris. So yeah, the first public movie projection took place in Paris, even if it was if this movie was shot in Lyon, in France too, and by les Frères Lumière. But Georges Méliès, who invented cinema, had his studios in Paris. It's also the first numeric projection in Europe. And yes, Paris is the most short city in the world. Yes, it's a fact. It's a statistic. So to begin, so I will begin with a dreamy vision of Paris, a bit cliché, like a perfect vision of Paris that would please people that don't really know it, because I think that Parisians might find it a bit annoying sometimes, all those clichés and ideas, but it's quite charming and precious for Paris' reputation. So yes, I'll start with two movies, Le Fabuleux Destin d'Amélie Poulain, that you may know shortly as Amélie, or Amélie from Montmartre, by Jean-Pierre Jeunet. So here you have a little synopsis of the movie. And then we'll go with Ratatouille from Disney and Pixar, that you may have seen with your friends, but not, with your children, but not only. So here you have. So yes, on the red point there is Montmartre, le Sacré-Cœur, and here you have La Tour d'Argent, which is a restaurant that inspired Ratatouille. It is a restaurant from Ratatouille. So first we'll go there, and then we'll go there. Okay. So Amélie Poulain is maybe the most famous French film abroad, I guess. You can tell me at the end. It's the story of a girl who's chasing happiness in small things, such as cracking her crème brûlée, and small absurdities and coincidence in life, but also in other people. She seeks love and friendships in general. And the yellow images that you can see, yes, it's very yellow, green. It gives a vintage and nostalgic look to Paris. So Amélie lives in Montmartre, that is well known for being a quarter of artists like Picasso. It's on a hill, so you have a great view of Paris. So yeah, that you can see on the top right. And the most emblematic building is the Sacré-Cœur, that you can see it. That you can see here. It was built after a revolution in Paris. It's all white and pure, and it's beautiful. And here you have le Café des Deux Moulins, where Amélie works. It's also a real cafe in the real life. And I'll show you an extract of the perfection and the dreamy vision.
Nous sommes le 28 septembre 1997, il est exactement 11 h du matin. À la foire du trône, à 2 pas de la chenille des Carpates, la machine à malaxer la guimauve malaxe la guimauve. Au même instant, sur un banc du square Villette, Félix L'Herbier découvre que le nombre de connexions possibles dans un cerveau humain est supérieur au nombre d'atomes dans l'univers. Pendant ce temps, au pied du Sacré-Cœur, les bénédictines soignent leur revers. La température est de 24 degrés Celsius, le taux d'humidité de 70 degrés et la pression atmosphérique de 990 hectopascales.
Okay, so I think that you've seen behind them and Le Sacré-Cœur when they turn when they play together, and you can also hear the music that is typical French with the accordion and yeah, so that's very dreamy. It's so romantic. They're in love, etc. So yeah, that's a dreamy vision of Paris. It's an epitome of a dreamy and romantic vision of Paris.
Nous sommes le...
And so to go further, we'll see Ratatouille. So it's a Disney movie, but it's not only for children. It's like the success story of a little rat who happens to perhaps be the best cook in Paris. He creates a bond with a human chef, Linguini here. And so they can work together. It's also a very romantic vision of Paris through Linguini and Colette relationship. So you can recognize Notre Dame behind them, so that they are like on this bridge. Concretely, they're on this bridge, and here you have a scene on the Quai de Seine, and here you have the real Quai de Seine too. It's real places in Paris. You can recognize it's not. They really took inspiration from Paris. And so yes, I'll show you this little extract. It's a very funny scene when Remy is chased by the other chef. So I took a screenshot of the scene. So it's again, you can recognize the Quai de Seine, Notre Dame, etc. It's really the same place around Notre Dame. Yeah, so that was for Paris, the outdoors. But then it also depicts Paris' famous restaurants. It was inspired by La Tour d'Argent that you can see here. It's in the 5th arrondissement. It's very expensive, and it's also the first restaurant ever in Paris. It's the oldest restaurant in Paris. And so I'll show you next time that you can see a Garçon Café. They are very different, and you can also see red velvet seats, smooth light, like in La Rotonde. So that's the restaurant La Rotonde, and here you have the restaurant in Ratatouille. And I'll show you an extract from the inside of the restaurant in Ratatouille.
How have you decided this evening? Your soup is excellent.
But we order it every time.
Yeah. What else do you have? Something else?
We have a very nice food.
Well, yeah, I know about the foie gras. The old standby used to be famous for it. What does the chef have that's new?
So what is that? What is new? New? What do I tell them?
Okay, so they're all in panic, and you can see a real chef, a real cuistot, and a garçon café. Even because garçon café means literally café's boy, but he's not a boy; he's really a grown-up man. But that's how we call them. So yes, you can see the seats, red velvet, and the light and the smooth jazz music. It's a typical atmosphere in Paris chic restaurants. And so we'll take another point of view, another perspective, which is really different. It's Paris in action movies. And so yeah, so I chose Inception by Christopher Nolan that you may have seen. It's very famous and successful, and also Da Vinci Code by Ron Howard. You may have read the book too. It was a bestseller. And so for Inception, we'll go there on the Pont Bergheim, and for Da Vinci Code, we'll go in the Louvre. And I hope that you have visited the Louvre, that you will do one day, because it's wonderful. And I'll tell you why. So to begin with Inception, it's a story of people with bad intentions that can intervene in other people's dreams and control them to extract personal information from their subconscious. So in this scene, Leonardo DiCaprio, that you can see here, so it's real life here in the movie. He explained to Ellen Page how to do it, how to control dreams, and Paris becomes a giant playground, like in dreams. So you can see that Paris is distorted. That's the real Pont Bergheim. Bergheim is quite special because it's built like a viaduct, except that it's for the metro tracks that you can see here, with an Art Deco style from the end of the 19th century. Yes, so you can see Birakeim in some mirrors. So yes, she folds the mirrors around Birakeim, and it's very interesting as a scene for the mirrors, the perspective, etc. And then we go with Da Vinci Code. So the beginning takes place in the Louvre, and the director of the Louvre gets killed by a mysterious man. And so the Louvre is a former fortress that has been converted into a museum. It has the biggest collection of pieces of art, especially the most famous one. And I'll show you an extract, but in this extract you can recognize very famous paintings. So here you have the House of the Horatii by Jacques-Louis David, La Belle Ferronnière by Da Vinci himself, and the Intervention of the Sabine Woman by Jacques-Louis David too. And I show you the extract, and you can see all these paintings. So yes, it's a Sabine. Yeah. La Belle Ferronnière by Da Vinci. Yeah, so that's some of the paintings that you can see in the movie and also in the Louvre, and they are all in a big, magnificent rooms, and yeah, they are some are very big paintings, very impressive, and so that was for the beginning of the film. Then Robert Langdon, who is played by Thomas, who is professor of symbolism, has to crack a complex item, the cryptex, thanks to hints from the director and Da Vinci himself. He finally finds an answer in the Louvre pyramid that has been inaugurated in 1989, and into the reverse pyramid from 1993. So I will not show you the video, but I will slide because so yeah, that's the pyramid, that's the Louvre, that's the square, the pyramid, and the inverse pyramid. And I will not show you the extract, but you can see that. So I will go slowly, but you can see that he runs through the Louvre and to the pyramid, etc. You also see the paintings. So it's a mirror from the beginning thing. And yes, so he finds the answer in the pyramid. And yes, to finish, another perspective, so another point of view of Paris from directors, French directors that had a very powerful impact in the 60s because they reinvented cinema in France. So these are two movies by famous figures from La Nouvelle Vague, as we call it, the new wave. So À bout de souffle, that takes place in the Champs-Élysées, the beginning. And On connaît la chanson, same old song in the park des Buttes Chaumont. So yes, yeah, little synopsis. So that's a shot from À bout de souffle. So this is a story of Michel, a dangerous and boisterous young criminal who falls in love with Patricia, an American student and aspiring journalist who sells the New York Herald Tribune on the boulevards of Paris, so on the Champs-Élysées, and you can hear her scream New York Herald Tribune, and that's an iconic scene from À bout de souffle. And so they walked down the Champs-Élysées Avenue, but you can also, in the movie, you can also see buildings from Saint-Germain-des-Prés, famous bistro near Montparnasse, and the Quartier Latin in general. And this film is the epitome of La Nouvelle Vague and the new intellectual cinema, as I said. I think it shows how the Champs went from a sumptuous avenue like there to an enormous shopping avenue. You can not see the shops, but everywhere there are a lot of tourists. So here is the extract.
Est-ce que tu m'accompagnes à Rome? Oui, c'est idiot, je t'aime. Je voulais te revoir pour savoir si te revoir me ferait plaisir.
Vous venez d'où? Monte-Carlo?
Non, de Marseille. Je suis resté samedi et dimanche à Monte-Carlo, fallait que je voie un type. Lundi, j'ai essayé de t'appeler de Marseille.
Lundi et dimanche, t'es pas à Paris. New York Herald Tribune!
Je t'en prends un.
C'est gentil.
Yeah, so they discussed all along the scene because they fell in love and they have an affair. So that the discussion is a bit absurd, but it's very lovely. So you can hear her scream the New York Herald Tribune, etc. So that was for this scene. And to finish with the same old song by Alain René. It's one of his last movies, so it was more commercial than À bout de souffle, but it's very philosophical and complex underneath. It's very funny to watch because some of the dialogues are replaced by extracts from emblematic French songs. So if you're into French chanson, you like it. So here at Les Buttes Chaumont, it's a very lovely park in the north of Paris. So you can walk around. So in this scene, they are in this little thing on the top left. So you can just chill there with your friend. You can walk around. You can run. You can do jogging. So it's a very lovely and nice place in Paris. It's a bit like a bubble. So I wanted the story of Les Buttes Chaumont because it's explained in the extract I will show you.
Tout le monde est là? Oui. Bien. Alors, à l'est et à l'ouest, les Parisiens pouvaient profiter du bois de Vincennes et du bois de Boulogne. Et Napoléon III demande à Haussmann de créer deux nouveaux parcs pour Paris. L'un au sud, qui deviendra le parc Montsouris, vous l'aviez probablement deviné, et l'autre au nord, celui-ci, les Buttes Chaumont. Ils sont inaugurés en 1867.
Ah oui, pour l'exposition universelle, oui.
Voilà.
Ah bon?
Eh oui, 1867, l'exposition universelle.
Oui.
Exactement. Le 1er avril 1867, lors de l'exposition universelle. Bravo, monsieur. Alors, on pourrait imaginer que le parc doit son nom à un personnage historique quelconque. Eh bien, pas du tout. C'est en fait...
Non, en fait, c'est le Mont Chauve, hein. C'est le Mont Chauve, c'est ça?
C'est l'aspect désertique de ces anciennes carrières, dépourvues de toute végétation, qui lui valut le nom de...
Mont Chauve.
Ah bon?
Voilà.
Mais je vois pas le rapport.
Mont Chauve, Chauvemont et Chaumont.
Okay. So that was a great example of mansplaining. I think that yes, Alain René invented the concept before everyone, and so it's a very funny movie. And en fait, so Odile is it's a tour guide and history student, so they share a lot of anecdotes during the movie. So it's very instructing, and that's one of my favorite movies of all time. Yes, that's it. I was glad to share some of these movies and some of these places in Paris with you. If you don't hesitate if you have suggestions. And if you want the references on more prestigious, or if you have questions, I will be glad to answer it. Thank you very much.